All right, the roadmap to success. We're going to be talking about today the public school form of North Carolina. I like to call it the roadmap to success. That's why I picked the theme of the back of the PowerPoint. Hope you enjoy. As we move forward here, we'll talk about just a brief overview of the public school form of North Carolina. We'll talk about the roadmap of need, which is under the umbrella of this public school form. With that information, we'll talk about how it relates to the curriculum development that are being implemented in schools and instructional delivery on a more micro level of what we're doing here at Mint Hill Middle School. And then the big question, so what? Why does this information relate to what we're doing as educators and administrators? Just a quick overview of the public school form. I'm going to kind of back out of this PowerPoint and just pull up what it looks like. You can see here's the website. It has a great amount of information. Not going to spend too much time. I just wanted to let you see what it looks like. Just a great amount of things that it offers. It has different programs that we'll talk about. It tells you what it's about, different events, and then publications, which are endless, that you can go on there and read. So that's what it looks like. Can't spend too much time on that. Okay, so what is it? I picked two quotes I liked through my study of the website. Just first one is speak truth to power. The second one just ties into what they do. They ask smart questions. They listen carefully. They conduct evidence-based research, which is extremely important to educators. We love that, evidence-based research. They provide support for teachers, especially beginning teachers. And then they just inform and shape educational policies. So they consistently seek what is best for the children. I saw that as I was reading through the website and kind of clicking on things that I thought were interesting. And as you look through it, you get this theme of they are student-based. They're focused on the child and what they can do to benefit the school system. So what can they provide? They provide various programs, teaching fellows, beginning teachers network, scholarships, and then they just have a bunch of events that they do for the public school system and teachers. Here's the roadmap of need, which we are going to be talking about. There's 12 indicators, 20 indicators, which at first I said there's no way I'll be able to get all this in within 10 to 15 minutes. So there's 20 indicators of wellness, but they do a great job at helping me out, knowing that I talk too much. And they break those down into 4 domains, which is health, youth behavior and safety, economic development, and education. So I'm so thankful for those 4 domains. That's what we'll be talking about today. So as you can see, I focused on Wake County Schools, which is the #1 largest school district in North Carolina. Second to that is Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools here in black straight across the bottom. That is what I'm currently working in. And then the New Hanover County Schools, I just put that one on there just because I love Wilmington. That's where I went to school. And so we could see and have a comparison here. For the first one, over on the far left here of the chart, you will see 4 charts for each domain that look just like this, just with different departments here. So the overall health ranking, Charlotte-Mecklenburg ranks 20. We're really going to just focus on Charlotte-Mecklenburg. I just have the other 2 for comparisons. For the sake of time, I'm just going to give you an example of what they do as a roadmap of need. So, for example, teen pregnancy ranking, they average all these little subdomains here on the chart, and they give you one big overall ranking, and we rank 20th. So for teen pregnancy, what they do is it represents the 2009-2013 five-year average of the number of pregnancies per 1,000 females aging 15 to 19. So that's kind of how they get these numbers and give you this overall health ranking. Moving on to the next domain, youth behavior and safety. The overall health and safety ranking for Charlotte-Mecklenburg is 64. I'm not too proud of that, but you can see in comparison, the New Hanover is 82, and then Wake County Schools is 5. Just an example of kind of how they work, get these overall rankings. The juvenile detention, this rate represents the number of times individual youth were placed in detention per 1,000 youth, ages 6 to 17 in the year of 2014. So that's how they get this overall health ranking. Moving on, education. Big buzzword for us as educators. This one is not any more important than the other 4 domains. Charlotte-Mecklenburg is 30th. Just an example, again, graduation rate reports the graduation rate of for the 4-year cohort entering 9th grade in 2010, 2011, and graduating in 2013 and 14 or earlier. So that's just an example of how they break down these 4 domains to give us the information on the overall ranking. Before we move on, or actually let's go over economic development first. We are ranked 11th. I think economic development is super important as we look into our student body of schools and communities, because we need to know what household environment are they living in. For example, unemployment ranking. This one here is the number of unemployed individuals as a percentage of the labor force, and they just give you an average of that. And that is how we get this ranking of 11th here. So those are all 4 domains are very important as we think about developing curriculums and what instructional strategies we are putting into our schools. So let's see if I still have it pulled up. This is what the roadmap of need looks like. Just a PDF here. This kind of tells you in this first part, tells you what they're about. And then it has a complete breakdown of the 4 domains. We have health, and as you move down, it continues to give you some information on health, youth behavior and safety, and it is all laid out there for you. And I think it's great. I think teachers and educators, they need to be exposed to this information just so they know who they're teaching. And it's extremely helpful. So as we move on here, curriculum development, I wanted to focus on the mission statement of CMS. Before you can develop a curriculum, you have to know what your school district is pushing. What is their main focus? So the mission of CMS is to maximize academic achievement in bold by every student in bold and in every school. So I developed these 3 focus questions. Who are the students? Okay, before we can have academic achievement, we have to know who the students are. What learning materials best cater to the learning needs of the students? So before we can implement instructional strategies that are effective, we have to know what learning needs do our students have? Where do they come from? What's their home environment like? What is their prior knowledge before entering into elementary school or entering into middle school? What are their learning needs? And then what information will trigger their interest? So we have to know what interests students before we can just throw material at them. So to see this academic achievement or to see student growth, we have to ask ourselves those 3 questions. And I think you can get a lot of that information from the roadmap of need. Instructional strategies, this is on a micro level as we focus on what we're doing here at Mint Hill Middle School. We focus on a personalized learning approach, which is extremely, extremely important because it allows students to have choices in their learning. They take ownership in what they're doing. It caters to different learning styles and different learning needs. And it builds responsibility as far as self-pacing, and it's very, very inclusive. And this personalized learning approach, the information that's gathered from the roadmap of need can really cater to how you're developing a program that implements personalized learning. Academic conversation is another one. As far as instructional strategies goes, here at Mint Hill Middle, we're focusing on allowing students to talk to each other. Maybe not just, all right, let's get in a circle and let's talk about whatever you're interested in. But this allows students to learn from each other. We provide a topic as educators, and we allow them to expand on it, bring in prior knowledge, bring in past experiences maybe that they've gathered from home, their peers, or a mentor that they have, and they expand on that topic and they're learning from each other. We just did this in the health setting. And it was very great to see students do their own research, come to class ready to have an academic conversation. And as we move on, you can see this is a type of menu kind of choice learning, personalized learning approach. And the applied content 1 through 6 here allows them to have choices in what they want to pick. They're all going to learn the material that's needed, but this is just different ways it caters to the students. Then you have, as you move on, this is how we assess them. They have 4 choices that they can pick from, and it gives them that choice. It gives them that ownership as well. That's just an example of what we use in the health room setting. Academic conversation video. Just wanted you to have a video. This is the one that I modeled in my classroom. Academic conversation example. Put that picture there. It's kind of what it looks like. I thought the picture was kind of creative. Benefits of this: student conversation. Allow students to talk to each other. They're going to hear things from their peers, so you put that into a learning environment that can be guided. I think it can be very beneficial. Discussion of prior knowledge. It allows them to talk about their interests. So what? So what are we going to do with this information? What are we going to do with the instructional strategies and implementation? What are we going to do with curriculum development? And how are we going to tie in this roadmap of need to all of this and what we're doing at a school, or as administrators or as educators? Before we ask the so what, we have to ask why. Why are we doing this? This video is just something that I love, something that has stuck with me since my freshman year of my undergraduate, which was a long, long time ago. Talks about why teachers do what they do and what they make. So I think it's something that's very encouraging, something that I'll never forget. So before we ask the so what are we doing? We have to ask why. Why are we doing what we do as educators? How will this information prepare students? So I think this answers that so what. I think knowing the roadmap of need information and having that and sharing that information with educators, with students, with administrators, it allows us to develop programs like college and career readiness programs that prepare students for what's to come after they graduate, and moving on into the workforce or to college. It allows us to develop curriculums that cater to the students' need, and it exposes teachers to information that is very vital to a learning environment. And it exposes students to economic challenges that could occur in the future. So I think that's the so what. I think that allows us to see the purpose in having this information. It's not just out there just to look at. I think it allows us to use it. So that's my roadmap of need to lead us through the roadmap of success. Hope you enjoyed.